Once a printer has been connected to the Combics indicator, it is necessary to define the printout fields. This is not a difficult procedure, but can be confusing without advanced knowledge of the menu format. This video is specific to Combics indicators only. The Midrix and Signum products are similar, but not identical. The print fields are selected from two separate columns. One column contains the items that are available for printouts, and the other column represents those items that have already been selected. There are actually two different sets of print fields that are available when the Unicom board is installed. This means that the Unicom board could be programmed to send out labels where the COM1 port is set up for tape printing. For purposes of this video, we will show the tape printing version from COM1. Available print options are defined by the installed application programs. In this case, we have a counting application that will be demonstrated, and it will include counting options. You would find available items that would include average piece weight, number of pieces, gross weight, and so on as part of the counting program. Some of those options may not be available in other programs. It's important to remember that the transmission of headers and ID fields is only possible if defined separately and then enabled from the Print Items menu. Simply entering data for print headers does not necessarily transfer those to the final printout. It is necessary to enable those items in the printout menu. For purposes of speed, I have added two headers to this demonstration already, and we will be enabling those from the Print Items menu. The easiest way to begin with setting up your printout is to clearly define exactly what you would like to have printed and in what order. Now in this case, I've defined our count printout with headers 1 and 2. Then it'll followed by a blank line, gross, net, and the average piece weight of each part, the total number of pieces on the platform, another blank space, the time and date, and then finally a series of blank lines to advance the paper. It's also easier if you begin from a completely clean slate. Now at the moment, our indicator on the screen has two printout fields already defined, the net weight and the gross weight. So the first thing that we'll do is go in and actually delete those items from memory. You do so by pressing on and off and entering the application menu through the normal process. We're going to scroll until we see the print protocol function in the menu. When you see print, press tar, and protocol, press tar again. Now we'll scroll until we see the word individual 1. These are the items that will be defined for our printout function. Hold the 0 button will erase any existing printout item. As you can see, all have been deleted, so we will exit the menu. And just as a complete double check, press the print key, and you should see nothing more than a paper advance rather than any printed data. So the memory is completely clean. So let's start over, on, off, and then tar during the digit check. Now we'll go right back to the same menu we were deleting the items from before and begin to add some items. Again, scroll down until we see the word print. Tar to print protocol. And when we see headline, drop down until we see individual 1. Press tar. As you can see, our print items are gone. Now we're going to press the tar, and you see the bar graph has moved to the right. The right hand indicates that the list you see now under the function key will be all those available items that are not yet part of the printout. So the first thing we're going to do is scroll until we see the word header 1. That's the first item we'd like in our printout. So once we get to it, we'll pause for a second and then press the tear key. Header 1, press tear. Header 2, press tear again. So now we have both the header items that will be transmitted to the actual printout. Now we're going to continue to scroll until we see the word blank, because we need a blank space, and press tear again. Now we're going to scroll through a number of different options, and as you can see, there are quite a few to select from. Once we see the word gross, same routine, we'll press tear. We see gross, and now we've added that to the final printout. This time we'll scroll all the way through the menu again until we see the word net. Now you can see there are a number of options that will eventually go into our printout, and you can actually select those at any time, but they will appear in the order in which you select them. So it's important, even if you have to scroll past an item, if you want it to appear at the end, you should only select it at the end. We see the word net for net weight, and now that has been added. Looking now for the average piece weight, or reference weight as we call it. And we will add that with the tear key. Piece count is next. We add that. And now we're going to scroll until we see that blank. Press tear to add a blank space. And one last item on the printout will be time date. That has now been added. Now to ensure that the paper rolls out past the tear bar, we're going to add 8 blank lines. Now this value could vary depending on the type of printer you're using, or if you're going to a PC or laptop, it may not be necessary at all. But in this case, we're going to put in 8 blank lines once we see the word blank on the screen. And you do so by simply pressing the tear 8 times. Eight blank lines have now been added, so we're going to back out to the wait mode by holding the tear key. And now we're ready to proceed with our actual printout. Press the print button. As you can see, we've got the 2 stored header lines that came in, our pre-programmed blank line, gross weight, net weight, weight reference, which is our average piece weight, and the number of pieces on the platform. And then finally below that, you can see we have the time and date. In order to erase anything that's on an existing menu that may have been put there in error or perhaps out of order, again, go back to the print protocol function and hold the 0 key when you see the printout menu. That will delete any item. Press tear to get to the available items and select any items from that menu. This concludes this demonstration of the print field selection procedure.